Well, hi everybody. My name is Marty Zoffinger. Some of you probably already know that. And this is a tour of my place. Okay. And again, as many of you probably already know, I live in a boat. So the cool thing about living in a boat is that everything is really small and close to each other. Like, this is my living room here. That's where I like to sit and edit on my table. It's kind of like my dining room and living room all together. And over here is a spare bunk. That's where people can stay if they were to come over. This is like my, I don't know, this is where I put all my junk, like anything I don't feel like messing with, like laundry. Or when I come home and I empty my pockets and I just put it up here, this is where everything usually is. There's always a flashlight on board, and places for my rods and reels, and a bed up front for me and the dogs. Hi, puppies. And I always have something on to read. And yeah, there's not much else. I mean, over here is the kitchen, galley, sorry. And you can see there's little nooks and crannies for stuff all over the place. I got plenty of things up in here. Lots of stuff stays in jars to keep the moisture out of it. And here's my sink. You can see it's very small, so it's kind of neat because it keeps me from letting dishes pile up, of which I don't really have a lot of dishes. I mean, there's my plates and whatnot. And my refrigerator. As you can see, it's kind of small. Plenty of room for beer though, which is very nice. Let's see, today is January 11th according to my phone, so this is all really recent, and you know, this is it. This is like everyday life for me. This is not a video from the past. Well, it will be someday, but right now this is all current stuff. You can see all the things that I have, like my captain's license and my potato chips and all things in between. What are you barking at? Go get him. Let's go outside. Well, first of all, I just wanted to show you real quick before I went. The finale of the tour is the bathroom / shower. You can see the shower curtain goes around this track, and there's the shower. I do that while I sit on the toilet. There's my shower floor, which I'm very proud of. I got little places for stuff, like toilet paper goes in there so it don't get wet. It's pretty crazy, you know? It helps that I'm a small guy and I fit in here, and it's really no big deal. Okay, outside the boat, you can see it's a bit of a mess because I'm replacing the netting that goes around the boat. You can see the old netting used to be right there. It helps for keeping the dogs from falling overboard. But you can see up front they have their own lawn, which is fenced in. This is the new netting that's going in place. I have yet to trim the edges a little bit, but this is going to get replaced, and that's going to get replaced. And for all you guys that have been expecting more YouTube videos, I apologize, but things like this have been keeping me very busy. Even up top recently, and I did not make a video about it, but I replaced the thatch. You get about 1.5 years or 2 years out of this stuff tops before it falls apart, like everything else on the water. I mean, look at how dirty that is. This is a cool place though. This is like my patio where I get to look out at the water. I have lived on board now for a few years, and I never regret it. I absolutely love it. Ah, you puppies made it back? Come on, let's go. No running. I yell at them all the time. No running on the dock, no shedding. They don't listen. But yeah, that's my floating home. And you can see the homemade gangplank that I made, which kind of rolls around with the waves and the wakes, and goes up and down with everything else. Like the floating dock that I'm standing on, upon which there are 2 roundabouts. Those and these kayaks, these are my 10-foot kayaks, are part of what I'm doing for a living now. Aside from YouTube, I'm also renting and selling kayaks, all Pelican, who is a sponsor of mine. And I don't know, I have them to thank for me being in this position. They've been very, very supportive, as have people on Patreon and just folks that get to show up nowadays. It's part of why, another reason why I haven't been making too many videos is because running this business has been pretty demanding. You know, just getting the place ready, like making that sign up there. And this sign here, this was donated to me by a friend that I met at a marina. This was his old porta boat. And it didn't float anymore, but I was able to take it apart and it made some pretty cool signage. But things like that take time, just like making the rod holders here for customers when they come here. If they're staging up their kayaks to put into the launch, they now have a place to put their rods. I made these as a place to put paddles, so when they come off the water quickly I can grab a paddle and put it where it won't be in the way. Everything's got to have a place when you don't have a lot of space. And there's the launch, which is, and it has been and continues to be very essential for allowing people to get on the water nice and easy. You can see there's some pretty gnarly stuff growing on it right now. Like everything in the water, that's just part of the routine and something else that I have to clean. Just like the bottom of the boat there. I gotta clean that eventually. But this is it. This is what you're gonna see. This is the ramp that you get to go down if you're coming here to rent or just to hang out. A lot of people have come by just to hang out, and it's pretty amazing just to meet people and hear stories, and it's a great part of my job nowadays. Living simply, like on the boat, it doesn't give me a lot of kitchen space, so I've got the grill here where I can use charcoal or propane, and I have a little burner, and that's really all that I've ever needed. A hose for the fillet station, and like the one knife that I use, pretty much. That's all I use a fillet knife for everything, for carving up fish or vegetables, or sometimes trimming fishing line. It's everything in my life nowadays is simple. Like growing my own vegetables. That was a suggestion from Ty Sutherland, who does 30 miles out. Him and his wife Teresa, they have recently gotten into gardening, and I posted a picture of some flowers that I had planted, and they were like, it's cool, it looks great, but you should plant some stuff that you can actually eat. So since then I've put a little rosemary, basil, mint, and I think I have, there's some orange bell peppers. They don't look too good, but we hope for the best. I've done that, and the tomatoes, in hopes of maybe someday reaping the benefits. The rest of the tour here, you can see this is a dock box that I built, and it opens up so that I can access my seats and dog food, and that has worked out tremendously well. I've got a 55-gallon drum here. There's some bait in there. There's usually an aerator that's bubbling this all up, which is not connected at the moment. This sign I took from my old spot. I built it myself, inspired by what I saw at Weeden Island Preserve. Saw the sign and I was like, man, that's so cool, I gotta have one. Carved my name into it and everything. It's neat stuff. My friend Mike's propellers are on display. This is a thing that a lot of people want to come over and see and touch. This all happened in Okeechobee when we decided not to stay in the channel. But another thing that I've been working on here is a rack for some of the bigger kayaks, like the one tandem that I have. I'll be getting more of these to rent. This is actually a popular boat. A lot of people want to go out together, and it's a cheaper way for two people to get on the water. I've built other spots. This is going to be for a canoe, which is on the way. And I have a pedal boat, which is going to show up, and It'll be in addition to these 12-foot boats that I have, all for rent. There's another big boat. This is a Catch 120. This is a popular boat for some of the bigger guys. And another thing that's been keeping me busy is this is a map that I put together, and I photoshopped it so that it was paddle friendly. Like, I show some of the mangrove tunnels here that you can't see on the satellite imagery, but definitely cool places to check out. So yeah, I've had some help getting these things printed out. Thank you to everybody out there that made that possible, including these smaller versions that are laminated that customers can take with them. So that's really neat. And I have everything else that a person that rents kayaks would need, like whistles. I have plenty of whistles, plenty of PFDs, and they have their own closet. Children's PFDs and trolling motors and line and boxes and tackle. We're selling tackle now for $3. You can get a crankbait or some soft plastic lures, and we also have rods and reels that now for people to rent. If you come here from out of town and you need your own stuff, here in the warehouse I have some rods and reels. These are what you would get. It has like 15-pound braided line, a little bit of leader. I'll give you a lure and a tackle bag with some stuff in it, all for $5, which I think is a pretty good deal. A lot of this hasn't really been for making money. It's been, I should say, it's, you know, I'm making money doing it, but it's not a really lucrative job. It's just another revenue stream to help me live this lifestyle and to share my lifestyle with other people who want to come here and visit. So it's worked out really, really well. And because I have other revenue streams like YouTube videos and sponsors like Pelican, I can get away with not charging a lot of money and giving a good bargain to people. And you see, I've got shirts for sale. You know, people who want to just visit sometimes will buy shirts as a way of helping me out. So that's it's been very helpful to me. Of course, on display here, I've got my original kayak. Here's the Catch 130. We're getting a shipment of these next week. And that's pretty awesome. We're getting, I think, 14, all of which are sold. And then we're getting another shipment at the end of January. It's really nuts to think that I am now a Pelican dealer and I'm able to sell these cool boats. But let me show you inside the office real quick. Here's the prices for a kayak rentals, $35. Again, this used to be the price for 2 hours. But I noticed that a lot of people weren't renting kayaks for more than 2 hours because, you know, I mean, like the first time I rented a kayak, I rented it for 4 hours and it was $60, which is a little bit much just to rent a kayak. So I wanted to keep the prices cheap and take the pressure off of people. So when you go out there and you paddle around, you don't have to worry about being back right away. So $35 for a single, and that's for all day. Tandem is $45. We even rent the roundabouts. There's a single or a two-seater. And a launch fee is $10. It says per person, but it's actually per vehicle. So if you come here with 4 kayaks strapped to your truck, it's still only $10. And you can all drag your kayaks through the building and out down the ramp and go out and paddle around and have yourself a ball. So many people do that, and it's worked out pretty well. Inside here, you see this is my point of sale system. It's just an iPad on a square where you can swipe or dip. You can pay with your phone. There's a receipt printer. I tried not to spare any expense when it came to this because, you know, dealing with money ought to be a serious thing. And I shouldn't just have like a cigar box here, I don't think, but my opinion. And there's the rental waivers that you would have to sign when you come here. There's a guest book where you can sign your name. And there's a TV in here and a printer and all the things that a business would need. I've got a lounge area here where I spend a lot of time editing. There's a cool place for the dogs to hang out. This office and this office belong to Todd. And hey, Todd.
Hey.
Todd's the guy responsible for the roundabout boats. And we have a break room. I have a full-size fridge if you live on a boat, this is very important. And a place to make my pizzas. And I mean, I've got ice cream. That's ridiculous. I mean, I went for a while with no ice cream, which you do when you live on a boat. So having an office has been quite an advantage to what I was used to. Thank you, Todd. Yep. I didn't know what I was going to do, whether I was going to be able to start a business or not, and Todd really came through and helped make this all possible. So it's been a pleasure doing stuff like adding the ice machine. You know, that's a brand new unit that cost $2,700, but it's been really beneficial to have ice for everybody here. That, I mean, I'm in there several times every single day. Let me take you outside real quick. There's a two-seater version for the roundabouts. There's my Coleman motor for my Bass Raider, which is inside getting a makeover right now. And this is what it looks like outside. There's a sign that I made, another one out of the porta boat. And it's really just like a little place. It's at the end of a small road here in Ruskin. And the building is very industrial, but I kind of like it. I like the underground feel of this. I don't advertise too heavily because, again, it's more for my fans and friends, and people are finding me via Google nowadays when they look up kayak rentals, and that's fine. But the location doesn't really lend itself to a tremendous amount of business, and I'm a little bit nervous about all that. So the small amount of people that come and go every day, which I'm open every single day, is fine by me. And it gives me more time to play around with stuff like this. I'll make a video about this in the future because I like it very, very much. It was a gift to myself for less than $300. And again, I'll get to that later. But this is a place where they put the roundabouts together. Outside of the window, you can see the amazing view. It's just a cool place to live and work. And I am a very fortunate guy to have my own office nowadays. Right, puppy? And yeah, my office with a view. This is where I do a good amount of editing. I keep my shirts in here, which I have for sale. Again, you can either come here in person and buy them or go online to Zoffinger.com and buy them there too. So it's been really amazing. It's taken a lot of work to get this place up and running. You can see there's a bunch of shelving that I've had to build to organize things so that there was room for me and my stuff where the roundabout business already existed. And I wanted it to look cool, like, you know, the thatched roof up there. You know, that took a good amount of work to make, and all the painting and just making the place from a warehouse into a place that people would want to come and visit and hang out. You know, there's always something happening. Like, here's another piece of that porta boat that I'll be turning into yet another sign. And I'm always hanging stuff from the ceiling to make room, like my old strike. I just did that yesterday. And I don't know, it's constantly changing and evolving, and I'm spending practically all my time here. And as much work as it is, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like, you know, me hanging out and just enjoying myself. When people come, I gladly sit on some of the chairs here and just talk and hang out. So I want to say thank you to everybody for watching my videos in the past and continuing to be subscribers or patrons or just visitors to my business and renting kayaks. It's definitely the most fulfilling job I've ever had in my life. So many thanks go out to many people. And to everybody that's just subscribed and has wondered why it's been so long since I've made videos, well, hopefully this gives you an idea of all the things that I've been doing that have been consuming my time. And I do have a lot of little snippets, maybe 2 or 3 minute videos that I never thought really stood on their own. And I didn't want to bore you guys, but in an effort to make some more YouTube videos, I'll try to just put them together maybe rather quickly and put them out there. Because there is some cool stuff mixed in with some boring stuff. So if it's boring to you, I apologize. If it's cool, then I'm glad you enjoy it. So thank you guys very much for watching this video, for staying with me, and hopefully, maybe, someday I'll see you here at my place. Where's that Jabberwocky? Where's your sister? There she is. Hey, Jabs.